Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Ignore my laundry over there, I'm currently washing my sheets. But this week's video is going to be letting Spotify choose my reads for a week. So today is Tuesday, May 26th, and I'm going to be reading from today until next Tuesday, which is June 2nd. Before we get into choosing my reads, I want to give full credits to Sara Carrolli. She is where I got this video idea from, and when I watched that video, I was like, wow, that is such a unique and cool way to choose your reads. And like her, I also like having something else choose my reads because I have a huge physical TBR and it's just kind of fun. So I decided to make my own video doing the exact same thing. But after you watch this video, go ahead and head over to Sara's because it is really good. So I'm going to open my Spotify app. I was just listening to a podcast, so I need to fix that. But I have so many playlists on Spotify, so I think I'm just gonna literally just choose a playlist that I feel like fits the mood maybe. I don't know, we shall see. I might just choose random actually. Yeah, we're just gonna choose random. I have this one podcast called Heaven to My Ears 3.0 and it is my most listened to playlist as of late. So I'm gonna start screen sharing right now and we are gonna choose my read. So we're gonna click on Heaven to My Ears and we are going to press play. Okay, so our first song is Why by Shawn Mendes, an absolute banger, and it is 2 minutes and 46 seconds long. So to convert that into reading time, it is going to be 2 hours and 46 minutes. So that is actually not bad at all. I thought we were gonna maybe read for 3 hours today. I mean, we basically kind of are. But yeah, so 2 hours and 46 minutes. I will tell you guys a little bit about my current read. I'm a little embarrassed to say what my current read is if you have caught up on my book videos, but I am still reading Killer Instinct and I'm almost done with it though. I like have almost close to like 10 chapters left. I'm really close to the end, so I probably will finish it like right now, but this will be the first book in this video. I've talked about this book in this book series like in like so many other videos, but if this is the first time you're hearing about it, essentially this book series follows kind of a group of kids as they are in this program with the FBI called The Naturals, and they have like these natural gifts that can help with solving cold cases. It starts with Cassie Hobbs getting recruited, and we see more of that in the first book and like her settling in and like the events that happen in that book. And within the second book, we're following another case and it's kind of showing how it more affects someone else in the natural group, so that's been really interesting. I don't want to spoil obviously because it is the second book, but I'm reading it and I love this series so much. I will say, I've mentioned in the past, I feel like this book series is a little bit darker than you would think, considering it is a YA book. That like sometimes I'm like, I can't believe I'm reading this, like this is so like dark and gruesome, but it's still so good. It's a mix in my mind between like Criminal Minds and House of Anubis low-key. But yeah, I love it. It genuinely feels like I'm reading a Criminal Minds episode. But yeah, we are going to start the timer and get right into it. It is very rainy in Kentucky, so this is honestly the perfect reading weather, and my internet is acting up because of the rain, so I'm like, even more perfect time to read because none of my like YouTube or social media is loading right now. So yeah, let's get into Killer Instinct. Through the book. I switched to my Kindle, but I'm about to start chapter 42 and this book is like like it has went a whole different direction with finding out who the killer is than I would have thought, and I'm kind of shook. I can't even lie. Hello vlog. vlog. Welcome to day 2 of this challenge. So since the last time I talked to you guys, I ended up finishing the second book of the Natural series, Killer Instinct, and I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the book, but not as much as the first one. I feel like it dragged a bit more in parts than I would have liked, and I feel like there was a lot of moments that were not really relevant, and I feel like they revealed who the killer was for this main case they were working on. It was kind of like not as shocking as it was for the first book. I mean, I was still shook because I did not think the book was going that direction, but I was just like, okay, well, that's it. And then there was like still more to read after, and I was like, I could do without this personally. And I will say I am salty because there is like a love triangle in this book, and let's just say she doesn't pick who I wanted it to be, but we shall see what happens in the other 2 books. But I want to take a quick break from that series just to like read more genres, and honestly I felt like I was like getting like low-key a bit like too scared reading the books, and they were like sometimes they're just talking about murder and stuff, and I'm like, wow, I think I would rather read about romance or something than murder right now. But I have my second book picked out, and it is actually an ARC. And if you don't know what an ARC is, it is a advanced reader copy, and through my podcast they reached out to me and my co-host to get a ARC of this book called Fossil Feud. It comes out in July, so keep that on your radar. I'm gonna go in blind, so within my next update I will tell you guys what it is about, but I think it's a little bit about like paleontology, and I assume our 2 main characters are going to be involved in that. I didn't say who the book was by, but it's by an author called Maggie North, and when we were given access to this book they said it was kind of like perfect for fans of like the love hypothesis, so that's like the vibes I'm getting from it. But yeah, so I'm gonna sit here and start this, but before we do that we of course have to pick out how long we are going to read. So let me pull up Spotify for you guys. So we're gonna go over to my playlist. We are gonna do the same Heaven to My Ears 3.0 and figure out how long we're going to be reading for today. Okay, we got Deeply Still in Love by Role Model, which is 4 minutes on the dot, so that means we'll be reading for 4 hours today. I will probably split it up a bit because I am starting part 2 a little bit later in the evening, but I'm excited to start this new read. It's my first ARC. So excited. 4 hours on the dart, gonna start it now. Left on the timer, but I am 8 chapters in and I feel prepared to tell you guys what this book is about. So essentially we have Ripley, and she is the female main character, and we have James, and he's the male main character. And we kind of learn that, you know, within the paleontology field there's kind of the private fossil collector side and then the academia side of it, and James is from the academia side and Ripley is from the private collector side. And you know, she kind of has her private thing. She was in the academia side, but she left a long time ago, and that is kind of where she knows James from. But I believe this book is sort of an enemies to lovers, so they kind of had a little, I don't even know what to say because it wasn't like a big thing, but there's some communication that rubbed Ripley the wrong way about James, and ever since then she has not liked him. But now she's doing her own excavation, I think that's how you pronounce it, and he comes to her looking for some help, and we kind of see their relationship go from there. But it's just really interesting just to like read more about the paleontology field and fossils and all that, because the most I know about that is Jurassic Park, and I'm not sure they really got into that. It's more so about the dinosaurs living in the modern world. It's just so like fascinating, and I am honestly really enjoying the characters so far. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm still pretty early, and this is an arc, so I don't know like the exact page number I'm on, but I do know I am about to start chapter 8 and I'm 18% in. I am gonna pause the timer after this to quickly work out, get ready for bed, shower, and then I will come back and finish off the last hour we have to read, which I think we'll be able to get done. But yeah, that's my update. Really enjoying it, and it feels good to be reading another romance again, because I don't know if I've said this before on the YouTube, but I have been wanting to really expand my genres that I'm reading this year, and so I haven't read romance at all this year. So this is my first romance book back, and I'm so glad this is my first one back because I'm really enjoying it. When I was starting this book, I saw that Maggie North had other books she has written before this one, and I might have to check those out if I really end up enjoying this book throughout as much as I am enjoying it within the beginning stages. But I also kind of love how opposite James and Ripley are. Like, he's kind of the British kind of posh guy, and she's more of like the adventurous girl who just loves getting dirty. So I love to see that kind of contrast as well, because I feel like usually it's the boy, or at least in some of the books that I've read, romance book, it's usually the boys that love to get down and dirty, and like the girl may be a bit more posh. So it's interesting to see that flip, and we're starting to get a little bit more backstory on just Ripley, her family life, and her upbringing, which I find interesting. The way Maggie North writes is just really good. It just flows so easily. Like, I haven't found myself getting bored once, and I don't know, everything just flows perfectly. And I'm hoping we'll get to know more about James and his background, because all we kind of know is like what he does, but we don't really know much about him, where he comes from, things of that nature. But he seems to be a very sweet, loving male main character. I think if you can really get tapped into the main characters of a romance book, then you're golden. But yeah, that's my update for now, and I'll update you guys more when I have more to say. As you can see, I'm tucked in bed, got the hatch going, and I have an hour left in my timer for today's reading, and I'm determined to finish this timer before I fall asleep. I believe in myself. Hello vlog. So I took the day off from filming this vlog yesterday, so now we're back again filming today, day 3. And a little update, I am now 27% through Fossil Feud, and I don't have much to update in terms of the plot. It's just, you know, we're continuing seeing Ripley and James kind of like learn each other. We got to see a little bit more about Ripley's background and her relationship with her dad, which was nice. But I think I might have said this before, but I'm really kind of hoping to get more into James, and I find it so interesting learning kind of like the different things that can happen within the paleontology field. It's just like, wow, like I had no idea any of this stuff happened. They are in Montana, and the way the author describes the backdrop and the setting of like this smaller town, it just feels so picturesque. Like, I just imagine such a picturesque place in my mind. So yeah, really enjoying this. Now we need to pick out the time for today. I am filming a bit later today because I was out running errands and stuff, but back home now and I'm ready to read. Oh, also the last timer I did end up finishing it yesterday morning. I like read most of the hours, finished most of them, but then had to read the last 20 minutes in the morning. Like yesterday, that was a fever dream. I ended up waking up at 5 a.m. and I just couldn't go back to sleep, so I just like read the first like 20 minutes when I was up, and then I was like, well, I'm just gonna stay up and chill and watch YouTube. So yesterday was kind of like an off day, but I did finish the last timer. But yeah, I'm gonna start screen recording. So we're gonna do the same playlist. Like, actually, should we do something else? Let's go to my rap playlist just to spice things up. We're gonna press shuffle. Okay. A Gucci Mane song photo shoot, and it is 3 minutes and 55 seconds, so that means we're gonna be reading for 3 hours and 55 minutes today. I kind of love that I have like so many playlists. Like I'm such a playlist girl, so I can just like, I don't know, switch it up for you guys, I guess. But yeah, so 3 minutes and 55 seconds. I'm gonna set the timer and we will get to reading. Hello, it's Saturday, the next day of this challenge, and my perfect Saturday obviously involves reading. It is a little bit later in the day. It's 111, make a wish. It is 1:11, as you guys just saw, and I've obviously got ready for the day, but I decided to still put a robe on to be comfy. I have some prime reading snacks, some Joy Rides, the sour rainbow strips, so good. And we're gonna continue reading my book. I have 2 hours and 29 minutes left on this timer, so I really want to finish that today so then we can pick another song and choose how long I'm gonna read. But yeah, I need to finish this timer first. So I'll see you guys once I'm done. Hello, it's me again. I'm freezing, so hood is on. I just posted on my booksta. Go follow if you haven't already. I just posted a review of the first 2 books of the Natural series. Love her. Super cute. But since the last time I talked to you guys, I have gotten, let's see, I have the Kindle app put up on my iPad. I've gotten 48 or 49% through Fossil Feud. Yes, 49%. And I don't really have much to say except I'm enjoying it. I'm loving the story. We finally got a little something that happened, which makes me so excited because I've been waiting like literally from the beginning. I'm like, can they kiss already? It's safe to say I'm not a slow burn girl. Like I need them like together immediately, I guess. I will say my one thing that I've noticed with the writing, this may be fixed when the book is like actually published, but at least for the reader's arc, it seems like there are like 2-3 times where I've gotten kind of like confused based on the way the author is writing. I find that those 2-3 times in between bits of dialogue, the writing is a bit clunky and I feel like different POV switch and you get kind of lost. But other than that, her writing is smooth, but because it's so smooth, those parts where it's clunky really stand out. But yeah, I'm really hoping to finish this book either today or tomorrow. I don't even know what day of the challenge this is, but it is Sunday and this challenge ends on Tuesday. We are going to go on Spotify and pick out our reading time for today. So we are on the Spotify app. As you guys can see, I was catching up on some pretty basic, but we're gonna go to my playlist and I don't know, I'm feeling my vibes playlist today. So let's press play and see what song we get. We got Wanna Be by the Spice Girls. It started playing a bit, but as we can see, the song is 2 minutes and 53 seconds. So that means we are going to be reading today for 2 hours and 53 minutes. I'm excited. That's like a good time for a Sunday. There are some other things I want to do today on my computer and stuff, so I feel like this is like the perfect time where it's not too long but not too short either. Starts. And I will be reading on my iPad today because I just feel like it. I am 62% through the book and I have 58 minutes on the timer left. But another thing that I'm really enjoying about this book is how it truly feels like I'm reading a rom-com movie, and it's just like playing in my head as I'm reading. These characters are going through things that it's, how did you guys end up in this situation? But I'm loving it because it like forces them to like be together. It forces them to be together and have like kind of these conversations that they have been brushing under the rug. And I love how in the past couple of chapters we have really gotten to learn more about James, his upbringing, his background and stuff like that. I'm on chapter 26 for context, so yeah, we are finally getting more about him within like the last 50-ish percent, 62% of this book, and it just like adds more to who he is as a person. And I'm just like, James, come here, you need a hug. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break for now to edit a video and maybe catch up on some YouTube. But yeah, I'm really proud of the progress that I've made with reading this book. Hello vlog, wanted to give a little update. I'm gonna have to like stand on my tippy toes because you guys are so high. But earlier today I read for about 40 minutes. I had about 33 minutes or so left on my timer, and then I read past the timer to kind of finish the story where I'm at. I'm not gonna lie, for a couple of chapters the story did lose me. I think what really shapes my idea and how much I like a romance book is like kind of the conflict, and I'm really strict when it comes to my romance conflicts. There are some books that I think are so good, so realistic, and the way the author handles it is perfectly, and I wasn't a fan of it in this book. I feel like they were making it way more serious, or I don't want to say way more serious, but I felt like, I don't know, just like the back and forth of like, oh, we can't be together, but like we want to love each other so bad. It just didn't hit for me with this book. But I feel like now I'm 73% through. We're a little bit past that, so things are looking up. But I just like find sometimes that little trope in a book annoying. I'm just like, you guys just have to let yourself feel, please. Yeah, that's like my only complaint is that it lost me there. I'm not gonna lie. But it is Monday night. I'm gonna start getting ready for bed, and I'm going to read before bed obviously, so I wanted to go ahead and get the timer going for the last timer of this video because we will be ending this challenge tomorrow. I was listening to a pretty basic episode, so you're gonna see that. Okay, so we're gonna go to my playlist. Let's just end it with what we started, Heaven to My Ears 3.0. These are the vibes of the playlist if you wanted to know. So yeah, we're gonna press play. Hey, Tate McRae. Okay, so I got 2 hours and 51 minutes. Okay, not bad. I'll probably get like 30 minutes of this knocked off my timer tonight before I go to bed, but I'm happy with that time for being the last time limit. So I'm gonna read tonight. I really want to finish this tonight. Hopefully I have less than 10 chapters left, and if not, get really close, and then I already know what book I want to read right after, and I'm super excited and I really want to get to that book. So let's pray we can get through Fossil Feud tonight. Yeah, so that's the update, and I'll come back to you guys when I have more to say.
And smart as possible. I don't think posting in real time is so.
Hello, update. Today is the last day of this challenge. It is Tuesday, and I did read a bit before going to bed. I made it to 80%. Wait, what happened to my timer? Oh my god, something happened to my timer. It was literally 2 hours and 11 minutes, so like I'm glad I remember it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reset that timer, but I was going to sit down and try and finish this book before I move on to some other things. I've had a pretty productive morning, but I feel like I'm at a good place now that it's noon. It's 12:38 to like sit down, read for a bit, and then get back to what I need before, you know, I pick up another book, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my timer. Usually I don't have that problem, but like I said, I literally just like looked at the timer before recording, so I remember it was 2 hours 11 minutes. So like I said, I'm gonna sit here and try to finish Fossil Feud. I remember I told you guys it lost me for a bit, but I think now it might have got me back. I'm not sure. I don't even think the main couple knows what's happening, honestly. But there's like another plot in this book that I'm really interested to see how it plays out. I mean, considering it's a romance book, I'm gonna assume everything's gonna work out, but like I just need to see the full journey of it. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here, try to finish it. I'm on chapter 32, about to start chapter 32, and there's 39 chapters, so we are going to sit down and finish this book. We have 2 hours and 11 minutes. Start. Here we go. Also, happy June. I forgot to say that earlier, or I forgot to say that yesterday, but happy June. It's a new month. Oh wait, actually, I'm not on chapter 32. I'm actually on 34. Feeling something really good is about to happen. I'm scared. No way. Period. James is standing on business. I can't believe what I'm reading right now. And this is like a good thing. Like, wow, everyone on this book is standing on business. This is what we love to see. This is like giving me like Radio Rebel vibes almost. The scene that I'm reading, this is so funny. Hello vlog, we're nearing the end. We have one more reading session for this vlog, so I ended up finishing Fossil Feud earlier. It was really good. I had to let the day go to let me kind of think of my thoughts on this book because I really enjoyed it, but I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. Thank you again, Penguin Random House, for the arc, but again, even though I got it for free and early access because it comes out July 28th, all my opinions are mine and I'm not gonna alter them just because I got the book sent to me for free. So now into my review. I really liked it. This was my first romance read of the year. If you're new here, I really wanted to expand my genres, so I've really been mostly reading like lit fic, some thrillers, mysteries. I haven't read any romance because that was my primary genre, and of course if you only read a genre back to back, you're eventually going to get burnt out, so I wanted to take a break. So this was my first romance back, and I'm so glad this was my first romance. Like, dare I say, it is the summer romance 2026 read. It is that good. I'm like, who knew paleontology could be so interesting but like low-key hot at the same time? I'm like, ugh. And I love how the paleontology talk didn't take away from like the romance at hand. It really just added to it, and I think they blended everything seamlessly, and it just makes you want to watch like documentaries and stuff from paleontologists and just learn more about dinosaurs and all that. And then speaking of the romance, I mean, James is the perfect guy. He's the definition of down bad, and he's a yearner. Some of the things he said were just like, wow, like I can't believe this man. I was gonna say is real. He's not real, and that's the problem. And I thought it was also kind of interesting that like even though this story is set in Montana, which is just such a picturesque dreamy backdrop, it's so interesting because the main characters, neither of the main characters, the female main character and the male main character, are not American. I don't know why, I just thought that was interesting. I feel like I haven't read, like, now that I think about it, a romance story that's not set in America. Ripley was Canadian and James is British. So I don't know, I just thought that was like, you know, interesting combo. Like I said, like I barely read books that don't have American main characters. Ripley was just, I mean, she was such a strong female main character, just like showing how hard it is being a woman in this male dominated space, which I'm sure like a lot of women can relate to, even if it's not paleontology. I feel like there's men everywhere, unfortunately. So that was interesting to see it in her way, and then also just like all the emotional turmoil she goes through, just like confidence within herself, being a woman in this field. and just like being vulnerable in a romantic sense. It was really nice to read about. And yeah, overall I did like the book. It just didn't give me that 5-star feeling, and I did feel like there were 2 to 3 parts that like really stuck out to me when I was reading that felt a bit clunky to me. Is when we were like switching from like dialogue to like the actual story, like maybe like switching POVs, and it didn't, the transition didn't flow smoothly for me. But there's this one quote that I really loved, and I felt like it just felt in theme with the book as well, was "Love knows no time, my bones will find yours." Like, that's the most romantic sentence I've ever heard in my life, I think. But yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed this book. And when it comes out, I definitely would encourage you guys to, you know, add it to your TBR, read it, because it truly is the perfect romance read. But now on to the last book of this video. So we do have an hour and 13 minutes, and it is late. I started this portion of the vlog a little bit later than I was meaning to. It took me a bit longer to write my review and get that all logged than I thought, but it's fine. We have an hour and 13 minutes that we are gonna start our new book, and that new book is Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke, which is actually so funny because I listened to the podcast that she hosts called Diabolical Lies, and I saw the news about this book and the premise, but like I never connected the dots till a very long time, I have to admit. But when I connected the dots finally, it made me even more excited to read this book, because I heard of the premise of this book and stuff and was already excited. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna read that. But then finding out that a podcaster that I really like is the author of this book, and then that Anne Hathaway is like producing this movie as well, I'm like, yep, I need to get this immediately. So I got it a couple of weeks ago and I love it. So many people I've seen on social media have been raving about this book. Even when I bought it from the bookstore, the girl checking me out was like, yeah, like my boss has read this book 2 times. Like, she said it was that good. And I'm like, it's crazy she read it 2 times when it like just came out not too long ago. I'm like, it must be good. It's like almost 400 pages. And if you don't know what this book is about, essentially it's about this trad wife influencer, and one of these days she wakes up in the 1850s, I think 1855 to be exact, and she has to live the exact life that she has kind of been preaching online. So it's really kind of like a critique on, you know, the whole trad wife culture and kind of the hypocritical nature of it, and like the influencers who promote that lifestyle mixed in a fictional way, which I love. Stories that are, you know, fiction but still touch on real life issues. So I'm really excited to read this. So we're gonna start this book and hopefully get a good way through within an hour and 13 minutes. The timer is done. 11:07. We're done with this challenge. Hello. Oh, let me put y'all back a little bit. Using my Stanley as a tripod because why not? We are done with the challenge. As you guys just saw, I started Yesteryear and I made it about 26 pages in, and honestly I'm so early in, but I'm really loving this story. Like, they have me hooked already and I just want to keep on reading. This book, I'm realizing, is set into parts, which I really like, and I'm almost done with part 1. Literally only have 1, 2, 3 more pages and then I'm on part 2, and the part 1 chapter is called The Past and then part 2 is called The Present. So I'm like, ooh, what does that mean? Just so many things are just such a like so spot on with trad wife culture, definitely bringing up some interesting topics. Oh, also this book is written in a different way than I thought as well. It seems like someone, at least in part 1, someone is interviewing her. I don't know who the interviewer is, they haven't stated it, and I haven't read part 2 yet, so I don't know if this format is going to be the same, but it seems like someone's interviewing her and we're in the mind of the female main character. Her name is Natalie, and again, I don't know if that's ever gonna change throughout, but at least with part 1 it seems like someone is interviewing her, and I wonder if like there's a reason for that. Like, I have a lot of theories in my mind on how this book is going to unfold and stuff, but I'm not gonna say because one, I don't know if they're right, and like I feel like it may be too early, because what if what I'm saying is right and then it ends up being a full spoiler. So I want to avoid that, but I'm really enjoying this. Make sure you are subscribed because I probably will be talking about this book in future vlogs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this fun little challenge. Thank you, Sara Carrolli, for giving me this challenge. Love her videos so much. Comment down below your thoughts on any of the books I've read, thoughts on Yesteryear if you've read it, and again, keep it spoiler free in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.